So, I'm back with the second part of my European haul. Again, as you watched, hopefully, you guys tuned in to see my previous video, which was really all about Dior. Yes, like I said then, it's been a long time coming, that video, and I'm going to try to do my best not to have it linger that long. A month, you know, that was a little bit crazy. But again, you know, such is life, and I'm busy with work, so sometimes it's beyond my control. So, again, this is all about my trip to Europe in January, and I did want to spend some time because this video is really focused on Hermes and my my shopping and my unboxing from Hermes. But as some of you guys know, there's a lot going on right now with regard to the Yellow Jackets, and I experienced that being there. Not that it was, you know, it wasn't a huge thing, but it is a thing, you know, it is happening, and it is something to be cautious about because there are protesters, and I think, as we know, among the protesters come, you know, the other things that come with, which are people who are using that as an opportunity to loot, to break in, to steal, and all of those things. So I just wanted to share a story, you know, some information prior to doing the unboxing, which I know we're all waiting for, so I won't make this too long. But I am going to post, you know, some footage of kind of just the things that I saw while I was there, which was nothing significant. You know, there were a lot. It's Saturdays, and let me just preface this by saying this only occurs on Saturdays. So if you're going to Paris, just be aware that you know, there may be some metro stops that are closed, there may be streets that are closed off, shops that are closed, and for the most part, I thought before going, you know, my company sent me some information, you know, to be cautious and about certain areas, and I thought it was really just segregated to Champs-Élysées, but it was not. Apparently they go around to different areas in the city. So you may see it in other parts. I was actually, the first part I was staying in the 7th arrondissement, so I tried to stay away, you know, from the Champs-Élysées area, because that, I think, around the Arc de Triomphe is where a lot of it takes place. But I did see it other areas, and then when I came back to, I think I said before that I started in Paris, I had to go to Spain, to Madrid for work, and then I came back. So when I came back, I stayed near the first arrondissement, which I saw it there too, you know, just armed police, streets were closed off. But I think the most alarming was I was in the Fendi store in Saint-Honoré Street shopping, and one of the sales associates said that the weekend before, or is it that week? Because I was on the other side, and he was saying that the weekend before, that he had to bring some of the customers in and turn the lights off and, you know, lock the doors and keep them inside, because I guess, you know, some sketchy people were around. And he did tell me that during, I guess, weeks prior, or maybe a month prior, their store was broken into. He said completely stole everything, and to the point where he said that they had video cameras showing the people inside the stock room, you know, on the phone, I guess, asking people, you know, what size do you wear, you know, selecting things to take for people. So they not pretty much, he said they wiped out everything. The glass was broken, and, you know, he said beautiful, antique furniture was destroyed. So it was really sad. I was looking at the counters and I was going to put my bag on top and there was no glass. And he goes, I'm so sorry, we haven't had all the things finished, so there was no glass because it was all broken and he had not replaced it. So it was really sad. That was really sad. And he was just like, I'm so sorry that you're having to experience this. And basically in hopes that visitors would not be put off about coming to Paris. But again, I didn't experience anything negative during my stay. However, I would just caution that, just be careful, be cautious, and if you see something, go the other way. That would be my advice. And understand that some stores may be closed depending on, what's going on. And that's my understanding over on the Champs-Élysées area, that there may be more stores closed. So on Saturdays, go to the mall. There are, plenty of beautiful malls. Le Bon Marché is really nice, and there's some others. So anyway, that's sort of the spiel. And like I said, I'm gonna put some footage in so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But so let's get down to what to get in Paris. My opinion, and this is just my personal opinion, having been there several times, and I'll go again September. I will be back in Paris for a scientific meeting. As a matter of fact, I do have a lot of travel coming. You'll see. So actually, I didn't know if I let you guys know that in March I'm going back to Spain. So I will be in Madrid, then I will train into Alicante, and then from Alicante I'll be in Barcelona, and then I'll come home. And then in April I'll be in Vancouver, and then in September I'll be back in Paris, and then in October I will be in San Francisco. So that's just the travel that I know. So again, follow me on Instagram so you can keep up with where I'm going and what I'm doing. But anyway, so what I was saying is that I think probably the biggest sales, and this is also what the sales associates tell me in Paris, that the biggest savings is Louis Vuitton, because they say it's about 30% less in Paris than it is in the US, and plus you get the tax back. That's what they tell me, and I can just tell you that from my experience, it is probably your biggest savings. Second would be Hermes. And I don't, and we all know, we all probably are aware that the price differences between the US and Paris, and of course though they have had a price increase. So like everyone else, the prices are continuing to increase. But I don't think Chanel, in my experience years ago, I would even say like 3 years ago when we were in Paris, 3 or 4 years ago, I saw a significant difference in prices between Europe and the US. Not anymore. It's, price has been basically, the price has been averaged across different countries. So you're not going to, the only thing you're really going to save, and from my experience, is the tax. And when I was there in October, as I said before, it's Fashion Week, so there was not a lot to choose from. And lo and behold, guess what? I was back again in January during the beginning of Fashion Week. It was haute couture. And, but I wasn't affected by it because I was early. So, Fashion Week, it's too bad I don't get to experience any of the other good stuff about it, but like the shows and all of that. But anyway, so enough of that. I'm going to get into the good stuff, what you're here for, and what I've been waiting for, to unbox these items with you. So I'm going to start off with my purchase from Chanel, and this is the only thing, believe it or not, that I purchased from Chanel. And again, I'm going to put in some footage of Chanel because they had their new collection. come to my channel, you would have seen before that I've sold a few items, so I'm trying to avoid that route and just be much more selective, and my husband will appreciate that as well. So anyway, I had to actually open this because when I went through to declare this item when I was flying out of Charles de Gaulle, they made me open it. So just to know, keep your items that you purchase with you because they may ask to see them. And in jewelry in particular, I find that they may ask. They did ask to see my purchase from Hermes, but I said, I don't want to unbox. I don't want to take it out of the box. So she said, okay, that's fine. You don't have to. So I was like, whew. Anyway, so it comes in this, and so for another video though, I'm planning on doing a video about my thoughts on costume jewelry. This is probably my last purchase of costume jewelry, simply because it's so expensive, and really guys, it's costume. And as much as I love Chanel, you know, there comes a point when, you know, I could buy Cartier, I could buy Van Cleef & Arpels. I prefer, my husband was like, why are you buying that costume jewelry instead of, you know, again, instead of buying Cartier or Van Cleef & Arpels, you love those designers, why not save your money for that? And, you know, it's a good point. So, but this particular item I saw previously and I wanted it, so I decided to get it. So you can't really see it in here, but. So to be honest, this is probably, I don't have a ton of costume jewelry from Chanel, but this is probably likely to be one of my, I'll say that right, and then I'll end up getting something else. But anyway, so this is a previous collection. This is not like this is maybe like a collection before, but I just thought this was so pretty. So it has the stones here, and then it has Chanel here, and it's not too like huge in your face. But what I also liked about it is you can, you know, you can double it up, so you can wear it, you know, long, and it has Chanel here on the side and all of that, and then you can also double it up. So it's almost like getting two necklaces. That's what I thought. So they also have a one that's just primarily short, and you know, it's like this. It's double-stranded, but it's just like this, and you can't. So I preferred this one because, again, it's like two. You can wear it long or you can wear it shorter, and yeah, and it's not, you know, it's got a little weight to it. I was tempted to buy some other things, but you know, I had just recently gotten my belt bag, and I just didn't really need anything. So let's start out off with small items. So in this box, I have, this is not exactly what I was hoping to get, but clearly I got it anyway. So, it was in the brown pouch, and I got the Kelly Dog cuff. So this is actually in rose gold, and I'll tell you why I selected this one. I actually wanted the yellow gold, and I thought I actually wanted the exotic leather, and they didn't have it in my size. So when I go back next month to Madrid, I think I'm going to try and find one in color. And so again, if you looked at some of my way old videos, I did have the CDC, but I love the look of the CDC, and I love the look on it on other people, but that, you know, I have a super small wrist, and number one, and number two, so number one, I thought it was overwhelming because my wrist is really small. This is wider, but it's not as, you know, significant as the CDC. So that is one. And then in this box, I have, these are also wrapped so nicely. Can you guys believe that I kept this since January? So in this box, I have, Oh, so this, the bracelet I got in Paris, this actually I got in Madrid. They did not, and it's a good thing if they didn't have it in Paris. So, see in the box, and two. So that might be a giveaway. So here, I have a buckle. And this actually looks a little bit like rose gold, but it's not. This is actually, so I got the belt buckle, which is the hammered gold. And so, because the other one I have is silver. And I also got the belt in white. And I also got the belt that's not, it's not that wide. It's not as wide. Because the other one I have is the wider one. I wanted the thinner one. And so this one is white. I think it's black and black. Yay! Apparently white belts in Hermes are hard to come by. But this would be perfect for summer. And yeah, and actually for summer, and then, I'm trying to think, is this black or navy? I think it's black. So yeah, new belt. I think I'm good with belts now. Got the Dior belt and this one, I think I'm good. Again, if I have too many things, like, I tend to forget and not wear them. Okay, and in this little box, this I will tell you that I never thought that I would get. And so based on that, you guys probably already know what it is. However, when I was there, I thought, okay, maybe I'll get one. This is apparently a rare one. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy with it. A rodeo. So apparently this rodeo is very rare because it's black with the brown. I've seen all the black, the ones that are all black, and this is a medium one. I actually wanted the small one, but they didn't. This actually was the last, and so by the way, these items came from the flagship store. So this was the only rodeo they had, or this just came in, and it was one of the rare ones. So this I'm sure will be my one and only rodeo. Famous last words, right? So that is that. I'm very excited about that. And now let's get to the main event here. And, you know, while I'm taking this out, I will say that I've seen a lot of videos about people saying that, and I traveled with this in this white bag. I didn't, because I wanted to be discreet. And anyway, I've heard a lot of seen a lot of, like, not a lot, but a couple of videos about people like buying Hermes bags, and you know, you have to establish a relationship and you have to buy all this stuff. I am totally in agreement, which is why you see that most of the things that I buy are in Europe. Although I did get offered 2 Kellys in the US without any purchase history from the store. But I am in total agreement. I am never going to buy something that I don't want just to get a bag. Yeah, I don't buy into that, again, which is why I don't have a lot of bags from the US. So, you know, fortunately, I have the benefit of traveling a lot, so my opportunities to have one are probably more than most people. But I'm going to buy from Hermes in the US because it's something that I want, and that is the only reason. And while I love Hermes and I love the brand, and yeah, it's got to be something I want. And I can also tell you guys that the blanket that I got, love. Will likely get another one, and you know, stuff like that. Yeah, I'll buy it in my local Hermes because it's something that I want. But again, so yes, I'm in total agreement. And I feel like the time that I went, they must have had decent inventory. So yes. So I made my appointment. It took me 3 times to get it. But I said, you know, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. I was not stressed about it. I think it probably takes 2 or 3 times to get the appointment. So I know you guys are probably like, shut up and open the box. I'm going to. Here's the box. I haven't seen this bag either. I've almost forgotten what it looks like. My husband's like, "Why are you gonna open it? Let me see what you got." And and let me just tell you, when she brought this out, she's like, this is a very special bag. Are you ready? She said these are hard to come by. So this is the Birkin 30 Gris tourterelle in rose gold. Yes, rose gold. So this will be my second Hermes in rose gold, because I don't know if you guys know that my Constance, whatever you want to call it, is also in rose gold. People think it's gold, but it's also rose gold. But this one, this color, this Gris tourterelle, I think that's how you pronounce it, is apparently the coveted gray that Hermes has in this collection. So apparently I was very fortunate to get this. She is absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. So let me just tell you what I said. When she came to me and she said, "What are you looking for?" I said, "I'm looking for either 30 or 25 Birkin or a 28 Kelly." Yeah, so I gave her those 3 choices. I said 25 or 30 Birkin. And I said, I either want a neutral or one in color. And I said, I don't really have, which I didn't, I don't really have a preference on the hardware. I said, I just want a beautiful bag, and, you know, and she was so awesome. She was so sweet. She was friendly. And I don't know, I see a lot of different comments about, you know, going in there, but I have had a very positive experience. My husband and I, typically he's with me, but of course he wasn't then. We had, you know, a very positive experience there. They're friendly, they're helpful, and I would say that the best experience I've had is hands down the flagship store and the George V. This one on Sevray, I think, I forgot which one. Not so much. But yes, she is quite lovely, and I am so happy. So I feel like, you know, I have this one, which is a neutral, and then one with the pop of color, and I think the only thing I'd say that I'd have on my list, and you guys know I don't really do wish lists, but that I would purchase is a 25. I think outside of that, I feel like I'm good with Birkins. So this is what my 4th Hermes bag, because I have the Constance, the other Birkin 30, and the what's the color? Terre 2, and then this one, and then my Gypsier. So yes, guys, yes, this is my new Birkin 30 to add to my Birkin collection. And as I think I said to you guys, you know, having a Kelly, I sold that one, and it's probably because it was too large. It was the Kelly 32. If I get a Kelly, it will be a Kelly 28 or 25, because, and that one was also in the Clemence leather, which was a little bit too slouchy. It was, you know, like, anyway, so I'm not giving up on the Kelly yet, but it has to be the right one. So anyway, yes, here she is. And I thank you guys for being so patient, and thank you for watching. And don't forget, subscribe to my Instagram, and also if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And don't forget, if you like this video, subscribe to my channel for my next video. Thanks guys, and I'll see you later.